Hello YouTube and welcome back to the main channel for another video. Last video that I posted yesterday, we did a beginner's guide to Formula 1 and I hope you all enjoyed that. It's hit 15 views so far with 5 likes I believe, so let's keep that views going. As with all of my videos as well, all of them are unedited, so the stuttering, the jittering will all be normal by now, so if I mess up a sentence, it's just normal. It's the process nowadays, and that's probably why I don't have as many subscribers as other people, as many likes as people. But I like to get that disclaimer out of the way before every video. And before this video starts, smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, as everything helps towards the channel. We are currently on 34 subscribers, and I would like to hit a nice rounded number of 50 by the end of the summer break, which is early August time. So please smash that subscribe button and we will get into the video. As you've probably seen from the title of this video, I am revealing the first ever podcast theme that me and my co-host Josh Gibson are recording on Sunday. It is very, very exciting, but I'm going to tease you and I'm going to annoy you lot by waiting for the end of the video to tell you the actual theme of the podcast. So, few things I want to talk about first. The first one is a life update. I am currently in the middle section of my uni course now and coming to the end of the year, coming to the summer break, lots of assignments to do, but I'm enjoying my time now. I've recently just applied to be a peer mentor, which is basically just looking after the higher education students, and they come to me if they need support from their studies and stuff, so that's quite exciting. The next thing I want to talk about is quite major. Obviously, Misfits Boxing 007 happened on the 13th of May, I believe, and there were 3 big fights. There was KSI versus Joy Fournier, which is the main event, and then there was Salt Papi versus Anthony Taylor and Deji versus Swarms, and I'm just going to give my thoughts on those 3 fights. I watched the KSI versus Joe Fournier fight fully, and for Deji and Salt Papi's fights, I watched the highlights of them. And Salt Papi lost to Anthony Taylor, and he seemed to be very emotional about it afterwards. Anthony Taylor, he was very, went to the forum, started praying and stuff, just thanking God for his victory. Deji versus Swarms, Deji got another victory. I think Deji deserved that win. Swarms did look good, better than he has been in a very long time, but he has looked good so far. And then we come to the KSI Joe Fournier fight, where KSI destroyed Joe Fournier, and bearing in mind, if you don't know who Joe Fournier is, he is a 9-0 pro boxer, WBA lightweight, heavyweight champion or whatever, and KSI knocked Joe Fournier out. However, there is a lot of stick at the moment going about that KSI's knockout might have been with the elbow that collided with his head first, entailing the match will either end as no contest or KSI will be disqualified, giving the win to Joe, which is not what most people want, as KSI's never lost a match in his life, so we don't want that to happen. Secondly, this will be a shorter video than possible, but secondly, I heard a bit of news in the newspapers the other day, which was the Top Gear test track is getting dug up and being replaced with houses and estates, and I'm very upset by this, as Top Gear was part of my childhood, and it seems that they've just decided to dig up this place of raw speed and heritage and power and whatnot, and the home of Top Gear, and it just to satisfy people's needs of living, which sounds quite psychotic from me, but I don't mean it in a bad way. It's just that I'm a true petrolhead at heart, and seeing the Top Gear test track get destroyed means they're getting rid of a lot of childhood memories from watching Clarkson and co growing up, and my love of cars growing from that point onwards. And my favourite moments from Top Gear, just talk a little bit about Top Gear, as it's a bit of an upsetting time. My favourite bits from Top Gear will probably be all the specials that they did. So, you know, when they went to Bolivia on the most dangerous road, when they went to Albania and did the Mafia, and the Bentley didn't turn up, so Clarkson was in a Yugo. That was quite funny. And some of my friends who might watch this will know that Top Gear, we share a love for Top Gear, and I'm looking at a few of you here. You know who you are. A few of us share a love for Top Gear and have bonded over Top Gear and cars and the love of speed and everything like that. But now, for the moment you have all been waiting for, the reveal for the first ever episode of the All Sorts podcast, which me and Josh are recording on Sunday the 21st of May, so this Sunday coming. I am delighted to say and announce that the theme for the very first All Sorts podcast is going to be Star Wars. Yes, we have decided to kick off the All Sorts podcast with a very big, very knowable, very likeable and very mainstream topic, as 75%, maybe 90% of the world's population has heard of Star Wars. It's a very, very big event, and we can go through lots of tangents, lots of avenues, and probably have lots of arguments as well, as Josh's opinions will probably be different to mine, and it's going to be very, very exciting. I'm not going to reveal much about the topics that we'll be talking about, but I will just explain the plan of how the podcast will run, how it will work, just so you know what to expect. I will say before we get into the podcast, the actual video, just reiterate what I talked about today. But basically, the podcast will be in 2 parts, just so me and Josh can have a drinks break and break in between filming. But I will make sure to tag in the title part 1 and part 2 so that you don't miss the first part by accident. The podcast will still be 40-45 minutes long, but it will be in 2 parts, so which means you can watch the first part when you're at home, and then if you have to go off to work or to uni or whatever, you can watch the second part when you get home and don't have to skip bits. The aim for each podcast, I've put a bit of a low aim, but my aim for the podcast is to have at least 50 views on the first podcast and aiming for 10 likes and possibly 1 or 2 comments, as I would really like viewers' feedback on the podcast so we can go forward, what to improve, what we did good on, what we did bad on, because I would like viewer feedback, as it really, really helps push this channel along, and also give us ideas for what you want to see on future episodes of the podcast, as me and Josh might have ideas that we want to do, but you guys might want to see different things. You know, we want your feedback, so please do send us feedback. Obviously, if you have our contacts, you can WhatsApp us and text us or whatever, and to give your ideas. And maybe once a month or so, I'll do an Instagram poll of maybe 4 different subjects, and you guys can vote for what topics you would like to see in the podcast and what we discuss. So this comes to an end of a shorter but more informative podcast video, and the next video will probably be when the podcast comes out, so this coming Sunday. So I hope you all enjoy the first episode of the podcast. Obviously it will be unedited like all of these ones. I hope you give us a lot of support for this, as we've been working so hard to get this done and get this organised, and I really, really hope that you enjoy. Smash the like button as usual, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you when the podcast comes out.